Knives Out 3 cast announced. Welcome to Mirror Domains Movie News, your place for entertainment headlines. And indeed, this is a live news show for movie fans, where we talk about all the trending movie news headlines of the day, including what's going on with that Star Wars hotel being a complete failure. Richard Dreyfuss says some, well, not so good things, but Halle Berry does. She says some really good stuff. Green Lantern series. Benedict Cumberbatch is going to be in a new series. All good stuff right here. And for some reason, the live stream is saying that it's only started like 14 seconds ago. I don't know. Guys, there's something really weird happening with OBS and YouTube. Because yesterday I started the stream and it cut part of it off. So, do I need to go through the spiel again? It says my stream is healthy. Everything is green across the board. I'll just give it a second before we get into the first story because I don't want it chopped off. What else can I talk about? Billie Eilish. Yes, she talks about Taylor Swift, or does she? She talks about 3-hour concerts, and I kind of agree with Billie Eilish on this one. Not a whole lot in the news today, but there are some interesting side stories and hit or miss that we can get to. But we start off today's show by talking about Knives Out 3. Wake Up Dead Man. Knives Out 3 names first co-stars Rian Johnson's threequel. Well, who are they? Because, well, we know that Benoit Blanc is going to be back in this one. Daniel Craig, right? So who do we got? We got Josh O'Connor, who was just seen in Challengers, is going to be in this, as well as Kaylee Spaney from Alien Romulus. Those are the two people that have been announced. It's just early on. There's going to be more casting. You know, these movies are known for having their wide kind of ensemble feel to it, right? But this is a good start, I would say. Kaylee Spaney, if you don't know, Alien Romulus comes out later this year, and she's a really good actress. They said the other day on Hollywood Reporter they had this like 10 up-and-coming new A-list actors. She's going to be close. She's in the next wave. Not quite there at the top just yet, but her, Melissa Barrera, they're on their way up there. They're going to be like, okay, they're really good talent that you need to keep your eye on. And of course, Rian Johnson's going to capitalize on that and put her in the movie. Alien Romulus and Wake Up Dead Man are in her IMDb officially. She was just in that movie Civil War. She was the young photographer that was up and coming, if you saw that movie Civil War. So she is a good actress, and she does have a fairly decent resume. Was the first thing that I saw her in was The Craft Legacy. Wow. Josh O'Connor, we just saw in the Challengers movie with Zendaya. Now, out of the two, he wasn't the standout for me. Mike Feist was a little bit more of a standout. And of course, you're not going to have neither of those guys hold a poll or hold anything close to what Zendaya does. But Josh O'Connor, I don't really got nothing against him. He seems to be known for things that I don't know, that I don't watch, like The Crown. But he's an actor in demand. Out of the three people in Challengers, although he was in my favorite scene, he's got talent though, so I can't really knock him. He just doesn't have the wow factor, right? Now, he's not like a Jai Courtney or a Taylor Kitsch. He's got more talent than that, but he's kind of like that for me just right now, where it's like, here's the new star. That's the kind of impression I get from him for just right now. Like, he did show promise in Challengers, and maybe it was just the character that was kind of like, ugh, because he's a sleazebag in that, right? He plays a sleazebag in that, so it's hard for me not to think of him as a sleazebag. Now, this article also goes on to say, expect the rest of the cast to be revealed soon. Because I don't expect those two to be the main leads. I expect the rest of the cast revealed soon, as pretty much everyone wants to be in on these movies. So I imagine Rian Johnson has his pick. Yes. So, who else would you like to see in this movie? Thinking about an ensemble. Liev Schreiber would be cool. Uh, Gerard Butler. Now that would be an interesting choice. Why not? He can do it too. He could totally be in something like this. Scarlett Johansson is my pick right up off the bat. Jennifer Lawrence, if you could, but I don't think a property like this, well, it may be just fun for them. Why not? Anya Taylor-Joy, we just saw her in Furiosa. That's who I would pick. Who do you guys think should join the rest of the Knives Out cast? And let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and we will talk about it. Furiosa. Yes, we got to talk about the weekend's box office once again. Memorial Day box office, Furiosa beats Garfield by under 1 million for the 4-day weekend. So you remember yesterday we looked at the 4-day weekend and they didn't have Furiosa's numbers in there yet. So they only had Garfield at 31.1. So now Furiosa just edged it out by like 900,000. Hey, that's not good. Still, Furiosa is struggling. But it's in a little bit better shape today, I would say. 64.8, not by much, James, another 5 million. There's nothing really big opening up this next weekend, so it's going to have another week here to capitalize on the market before Bad Boys comes out, right? And then I don't know how much Bad Boys is going to eat into that. Because, well, Bad Boys has been getting good buzz. But I would expect next week Garfield will be number 1, Furiosa will be number 2. There's like a small indie horror movie coming out, and that's about it. I don't even think that'll crack the top 5, so I would, yeah. So I expect next week Garfield will be number 1, Furiosa number 2, If will be retain number 3, which is good for it, and Kingdom and Fall Guy will stay the same. Which is right, like, why is there not another big movie coming out next week? Like, there was an opening there in the schedule for a big movie to slide in there. I'm looking at you, Craven, perhaps. Craven the Hunter could have been in there. Yeah, that's where I would have put Craven. So we had to adjust some of the numbers. And of course, everybody's running with those stories. Box office meltdown. Furiosa edges past Garfield to win Memorial Day with worst number 1 opening in 3 decades. Yes, there is Furiosa with Dementis and Tom Burke's character, Praetor and Joe or something, John or something. I forgot his name. But this is where her arm gets ripped off. Yeah. If you haven't, spoiler alert. Well, it's not really a spoiler if you've watched Fury Road, her arm gets ripped off. Anyway, yes, narrowly beats Garfield with an estimated 32 million. So this will be splashed all over the pages today. It's going to be kind of hard to get rid of. Furiosa, though, a Mad Max saga will be getting a black and chrome version. What? I don't know if this is going to help you out, guys. So are they going to put that in theaters? Despite total numbers of its debut weekend, another version of Furiosa may become available for fans in the future. Some may recall George Miller's previous entry, Fury Road, had a black and white version, or a year later, dubbed Black and Chrome. I never watched that version, and I'm a little bit against that because while he wants to make it look like a graphic novel, like you could tell that was definitely his inspiration. The black and white big like graphic novels. When you've got a rich color palette like Furiosa and Fury Road, why would you dilute it? Because it wasn't shot for black and white. It was shot for the color. Anyway, because when you shoot for black and white, you work with your different white balances. You work with, colors of clothes can change shots and shot compositions. Yet there's a different methodology and approach to shooting black and white, right? Unless he shot it with that intentions. That's why the colors are like the way that they are. But like the scene where Dementus is getting showered with the red uh, paint or blood or whatever you want to say, like they'll just be shades of gray. Artglass says I'd leave the black and chrome version for a steelbook extra or Blu-ray release option. Yeah, I don't think they'd have that ready for the theater anyway. I don't know if that'll be, and I don't know if it'll save the box office. Uh, Miller had recently appeared on the Happy Sad Confused podcast where he stated, "We've done it already. It's the last thing I did on this film. I called it Tinted Black and Chrome, and I want to call it the Tinted Black and Chrome. I must say it's really interesting. I'm still demyst I'm still trying to demystify why the black and white for me has something more elemental to it. I still can't quite put my finger on it. It's not because they look like old black and white movies, it's something else. It's like if we took a picture of ourselves right now, it might look a little more dramatic if it was black and white because of the tones. Well, yeah, I don't know. So he's just enamored with it. I don't think it would really help the box office, but our numbers are there, guys. 32. Still not a great opening for 4 days. 4 days, it's only made 32. It should have made that in 2 days. Yeah. But I went on a rather long rant about that yesterday, so no need to rehash that. Next, Dwayne Johnson talks about the Moana live action movie. Do we need it? We're going to get it in 2026, guys. Moana. Dwayne Johnson unveils production start window for a live action Moana movie. So he took to his social media. Openness, ease, swing, swing, swing was my direction. Hold my tequila, I meant tea. You're welcome, scratch vocals for our upcoming live action Moana. Cool day of work uh, with this very talented cadre of artists and filmmakers. Okay, so I'm ready. Yeah, let's do this. So he's just there doing some, I don't know, lines. I don't know why, but yes, they are going to be getting a Moana live action. Now, Moana 2, the animated film, comes out this November, but this is not the live action one. The live action one comes out. Oh, so that's what he's doing. Okay, so he was doing work for the for the animated one. Okay, no, you're welcome. Scratch vocals for our upcoming live action film Moana. Scratch vocals, huh? Hides the sun, the sky. Hey, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, when he shows up for work, he brings it. Um, that's what we've been told. There's a comment here. Will he actually show up for work on time? Yeah, that's the question. Uh, he's a good dude as long as he shows up for work. Moana live action 2026. Dwayne Johnson's the only one confirmed. Now I thought we had the actress confirmed already for that. Moana, but she's not listed live. Did she pull out? Did they remove her? Because I could have sworn, yeah, this. No, it's not her. She won't reprise. I could have sworn that we had talked about that in the past. Soon after the project was announced, it was confirmed that Luli Carvalho would be returning to the voice of Moana and Maui. What? So they're going to have somebody else come in and play the role live action, but they're going to dub her voice? Then is it really live action? What? Is this confusing to anybody else? Is Zendaya playing the live action Moana? No. It's important to the inclusion of Zendaya as just a fan casting. So they don't really have, I thought they did announce it, but I guess they didn't. So she's not coming back. The original actress who did the voice of it, because it would be here. It's curious. I don't think I've ever watched Moana. We had boatloads of time, then we would do a Grumpy Man Reacts. Maybe towards the release of Moana 2, I'll do that. But what's this release window thing that he's talking about? Theatrical release was delayed from June 2025 to July 10th, 2026. So it was supposed to be next year. The live action Moana was supposed to be next year, but got pushed back. I'm guessing that they're still hunting for who's going to be playing the live action Moana character, right? Interesting. They'll probably just cast somebody, hopefully, who is a good actress, but who also sort of looks like they could play the role. Yeah. Pfeiffer in the live chat says, hey, how's it going? Oops, I didn't put up the YouTube chat. We're just going through some headlines here. Benedict Cumberbatch is going to be in a series on Netflix, Eric, or he is in one. Plays a desperate dad in Netflix's admirable but unwieldy mystery miniseries. Okay, so Abby Morgan's new show Puppeteer sets out to find his missing son with help from his kid's imaginary monster friend. Okay. That's on Netflix, huh? Let's just take a look for the trailer. Okay, so they're playing ABBA music. Benedict Cumberbatch always brings it, right? Oh, you guys can't hear the sound. I got to switch that over. He always brings it. And so this is on Netflix now, huh? It looks like it's a little bit more serious in tone.
Be brave, be different.
Tell your mom what you're working on, kid.
His name is Eric.
Missing person, Detective Jordan.
Mark up every door you've knocked on, every
Looks like it's a bit of a period piece too, right?
area you searched.
Mr. Anderson, you have any comment?
Press are crazy over this.
Do you even have a suspect?
We're ruling nothing out.
They're saying that if he was alive, that you would have found him by now.
You have to trust me.
What are you doing with Edgar's drawings?
I'm working on a new puppet.
Uh-oh. Can't use that ABBA music.
On the show?
It's effective use
how
of...
much we want him to come home.
Uh-oh, he's hitting the bottle. That's not good.
Make it real.
Okay. SOS. Looks gritty, huh?
You're not alone, Eric.
To carry on. Yeah.
Eric is gonna help me find Edgar.
Oh, Vincent.
So it seems like he's an alcoholic, it looks like. And he blames himself because maybe he was drunk or something, and then the son goes missing. That's what I get from that. So this was 3 weeks ago, huh? I have no idea what I just watched, but somewhere between Cumberbatch and ABBA, this started to look brilliant to me. Yeah, it looks gritty, right? Let me just pull up my Netflix to see if it's there. so it is. No, it's coming this Thursday. Oops. This Thursday is when it comes. Limited series. A desperate father alongside a tenacious cop battles his own demons on the streets of 1980s New York as he searches for his missing 9-year-old son. But you did get the impression that he was fighting the drink a little bit, right? Because you just don't walk around in the middle of the day with a small little Mickey. Normal people don't. And actually, alcoholics don't really either. But, somebody on the decline towards alcoholism does. Alcoholics will drink that even before. Like, why am I saving this? It's down the hatch. I'm not going to sip it. They don't sip. Yeah. Interesting. I might have to check this one out. I don't know if Arglass says losing his son probably drove him to drink. Sounds like he is voicing the Eric character too. Yeah, it does. So is he going to be like talking to it, he'll be puppeting, he'll puppet it, but he'll be talking to himself to try to cope with the situation? Did it say how many episodes? No? Let me see how many episodes this is. Come on, guys. 6 episodes right there. Why not just check it out? Cumberbatch always brings it, and I like the tone. Like, it looks like 7-ish, right, in tone. Like, anybody jump off the page I'm here? Erica Soto. David Denham. He looks vaguely familiar. Gabby Hoffman? No. Is that the wife or the mother? Come on. Interesting, though. Yeah. Eric, are you guys going to check this out? I might have to. Cumberbatch is always good. Next, the Green Lantern series. Yes. Damon Lindelof working on the Green Lanterns TV series. Guys, this broke out like 3 days ago. But as I said, it's kind of been a slow day. So it's kind of been put back to the top of THR. There's not really a whole lot for me to talk about other than, okay, we know that we're getting the Green Lanterns, but I would have preferred it as a movie. Ozark showrunner Chris Mundy, James, and Comes author Tom King are also part of the creative team, James Gunn announced Saturday. So yeah, this was on the weekend. Watchmen. Lanterns based on the heroes Green Lantern. Yeah, we know that. Wow, these articles really just don't say much, do they? It was unclear if that still holds, though. The social media post accompanied by drawings of heroes Hal Jordan and John Stewart, implying it will be a two-hander. And will it be animated? Let's just see if we can find. I can't see if it's going to be animated or live action. I would assume that it's going to be live action, because whoever is going to, even if it is animated, whoever's doing the voice will be the live action actor, because that's the way that they want to do this iteration of the DCU. Lanterns is acting as one of the foundational shows as Gunn and Safran's DC Studios slate. This plays a really big role in leading into the main story we are telling across film and television, so I'm guessing it would be live action. Describe the series as true detective in tone, more terrestrial-based investigation story. Okay. Fascinating. What was the timeline for this? Doesn't really give a timeline. You guys think about that. It's really not that much in there, information-wise, is it? Yeah, we know that he worked on Lost. He also worked on a bunch of other movie stuff. That the Lindelof, he had a lot of influence from like Abrams to have that mystery box kind of approach to things, which I'm not a big fan of. But yeah, Chris Mundy, who did Ozark, that's an interesting addition. Next, Halle Berry. Halle Berry reflects on her Flintstones role was a big step for black women, black women in Hollywood. Yeah, she was recently on was it her social media accounts talking about her role there. I watched the entire video, talking to. She was just like reacting to like her voice and stuff, how she talked in a different register and stuff, and how the Flintstones was like the reboot there with John Goodman. Like, it's not anything special to write home about, but it was like the Flintstones at the time were kind of like big when they were in the cartoon version. So they were trying to make live action versions of it and stuff. For me, it was kind of like, eh. It's kind of like, okay, it was interesting to see what they were trying to do with it. But then, yeah, she played the secretary to Fred, which is kind of weird because I thought Fred worked out in the yard. But she talked about like her hairstyle at the time. I thought it was pretty cool, just for her to recount it and say, um, it was kind of influential. Like her hairstyle for sure, that caught on it for a lot of people, right? Who else used that hairstyle because of that? Will Smith's ex-wife or whatever. Why am I drawing a blank? Jada Pinkett, right? She used that kind of hairstyle. Yeah, I didn't even have to finish typing it. I just remembered it. Is the Green Lantern Project one of the Nathan Fillion is tied to? No, Nathan Fillion is tied to the Superman movie. And I think he might die in that one because that's the way they like to do it. You guys message me every year about the Flintstones film, so I thought I'd do something special for the 30th anniversary. So, yeah, people really liked the Flintstones movie by the sounds of it. And if you follow Halle Berry, which I do, she posted this because I didn't realize that there was such a big following for it, but there is. Cool, though. Good for her. And we're going to see Halle Berry next in that horror movie. Why is that? We're going to see her next in that horror movie, Don't Go, Never Let Go, right? Where she and her sons are stuck in a cabin out in the woods and there's monsters out there. So looking forward to that. Just going back to that Green Lantern story. Yeah, we know that Nathan Fillion's the Green Lantern, the version of Green Lantern in the Superman 2025 movie that they're working on. Go over to James Gunn's Instagram here. Yes, it's true. The Lanterns DCU series is putting together a crack team of writers. Chris Mundy, which we just talked about, and Damon Lindelof. Yeah, there he is right there with the Superman cast. There's Nathan Fillion right there, right? Lex Luthor. There's Superman right there. I don't know who that is. There's our Lois Lane. Interesting. Richard Dreyfuss. Oh, this is shocking, guys. Richard Dreyfuss slammed for alleged sexist and homophobic comments at Jaws screening. So the Massachusetts Theater hosted the actor and has apologized for his remarks, writing in a statement, "We deeply regret the distress that this caused to many of our patrons." So I guess there was a screening of Jaws at this theater, and he was invited to come in. And you know, sometimes when they're out promoting stuff, they'll come in at the beginning of the theater and have a little talk. I guess he was going to be doing that. But then, well, he went off script and things got away from him. And he started talking about, well, things that are political. Attendees who headed to the Cabot Theater in Beverly, Massachusetts, for what was billed as an evening with Richard Dreyfuss and Jaws screening. That would have been cool. I would have been up for that. We're likely anticipating some amusing or insightful anecdotes from the actor. Yeah. And instead, he went on a free-form rant, according to social media posts, began speaking about Barbara Streisand, and moved into a bigoted perspective on, wow, trans youth. So, guys, I don't know if he's got problems in the background. But it sure sounds like it. And I have seen interviews where perhaps I'm like, it's hard. I'm not trying to accuse him, but it doesn't. That's not what normal people do, right? Normal people sign up for a Jaws screening and say, okay, yeah, I'll show up for like 20 minutes and give a quick little anecdote about working with Robert Shaw and stuff like that, right? And they'll be like, enjoy the movie. They don't go in there with this agenda of, or like this mindset of letting whatever's eating away at you. Like, I'm sure that these are concerns for some people living in the States, for sure. But you don't bring that up at an event where you're going to be going to talk about Jaws. So there's got to be some other catalyst that I would probably have to say. An evening of misogyny and homophobia with Richard Dreyfuss. Disappointing doesn't even begin to cover it. But I would tell you, in a brief video posted by YouTube, Dreyfuss is shown taking the stage for a Q&A wearing a dress over his clothes, doing a brief dance. Now you definitely don't do that. Oi. So, I don't know if this was it or not. So he comes out on stage like that? Looks like he did, right? Let's see how he's walking. How are you walking? See, there he's probably acting, but yeah. It's kind of hard to tell if he's just trying to show things up there or not, right? But it also looks a little bit premeditated if he's wearing a dress. This is kind of a bummer. Some people like the bigotry stuff. I'm not one of those people, but I also kind of suspect that maybe he is fighting some other demons. That's what I would have to say. Dreyfuss speaks about his books. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff. And maybe that's why he hasn't been working. Because if he's still alive, like, he's a good actor. Maybe because he is fighting some inner demons. He's got to sort that out. I don't know how much time you've got left to sort it out, dude. But I hope you, I hope you get through it. Because that's not the kind of headlines that I would like to be reading about Richard Dreyfuss. Because when it comes time, he's got such a good catalog of movies and work, a really large breadth of work that's kind of like Mr. Holland's Opus and stuff like that. You don't want to lose that doing stuff like this, right? Sometimes, yes, what's going on in the political world gets under your skin. I think there's healthier ways to do it, kind of like the way that Robert De Niro's done it, where, yeah, he's in your face about it at times, but he doesn't do anything like ranting and doing stuff like that. Like he'll do voiceover work for like campaign commercials and stuff. And he'll make he'll make a speech at the appropriate time when he's like winning an award or something, right? That's what Robert De Niro does. I don't know. It's just a little upsetting. Oh, I forgot to put in this story. I'm sorry. James Blunt slams Star Wars bosses for pressuring Carrie Fisher to her death. Singer James Blunt has candidly revealed his belief Carrie Fisher had a drug relapse due to pressure for returning to the role of Princess Leia. Now, I didn't realize, I thought that she had beaten it. She was only 60 years old. But yeah, after Star Wars and after like in the 80s, I think it was like she started to hit the bottle pretty hard, right? And then that led to drugs. And I thought she had beaten it for a long time. But I guess the stress of going back to Star Wars kind of re-amped it up again. She was quite heavy. And the studio wanted her to lose weight to come back to play the role. And I guess that was a bit of a trigger for her to start back with the abuse, which is terrible. But she had really put a lot of pressure on herself and started abusing drugs again. I just knew that the day before she died, she came back to my house and she had been really mistreating her body. And she had just gotten the job again of being Princess Leia in the new Star Wars movies. So she was really on a high and positive, but they had applied a lot of pressure of her to be thin, which they do. So they spoke about the difficulties that women have in the industry, that men are allowed to grow old and women are not. Yeah, but they don't take up drugs and stuff, right? That's not what you're supposed to do. Carrie Fisher's daughter reportedly blamed James Blunt for her death. So there's a little bit of animosity there between some peoples. I would probably side with her daughter first, because that's more family. James Blunt, not. I would just go to champion dealing with addictions, guys. Some people can get past it. Like some people, they hit rock bottom after rock bottom and they get the help that they need and they realize that chapter in their lives, it's done. Like whatever happens, you're never going to go back to it. But for some, working the programs and getting help is only putting a patch on it, right? It's only like, hopefully this patch holds until I can live the rest of my life without it. And for some people, it just eats away at them. It's always in the back of their mind because that's what it is, right? And I was hoping that she was past that, like she was one of the people that wasn't like that, but she was awesome. She had a great sense of humor. Anyway, kind of a bummer story. Talking about Star Wars. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to use. I was going to use this as a segue. Viral video breaks down disaster at Disney Star Wars Hotel. I don't know if you guys follow her. What's her name? Jenny something? Jenny Nicholson. She got popular because of the Star Wars sequels. She was one of the ones that came out and said, Force Awakens is awesome. Oh, Last Jedi is a true masterpiece. And then I don't know, I stopped watching after that. So I couldn't, like, she was going to every length to try to defend the Star Wars sequels. So I just wasn't really interested to see what she had to say about the rise of Skywalker. But I guess she's still making Star Wars content. And she did this hotel, which I guess you sign up for a stay there and you like role play. This is like a 4-hour video, my God. And I guess they walk you through certain things like she's a big fan. But yeah, they take you through dinners and stuff, and then you role play about it. And I guess it's not worth it because you can get charged up to $6,000. So her criticisms were small rooms that made you sign into a Disney account. The characters are confusing. The characters with confusing story arcs, the limited custom journey, and the cost. Yeah, I don't mind going to like having like a role-playing experience for a weekend at a hotel. I would do it for the Star Trek one where you get to go up onto the bridge and stuff like that, and they try to reenact a scenario or something like that. You kind of role play with it. I'd go for that. But apparently, yeah, the hotel, they're canceling it, right? They've stopped it because it cost them quite a bit of money, $350 million. Did the hotel experience look promising to you? Would you have ever supported a fully immersive experience on this scale? Well, I would have. Like you're checking into the Death Star or something, and then they just like role play around that. I don't know, like the concept is good, but a lot of people financially just can't afford $6,000 for that kind of an experience. Like, if you're going to do that, go see a Taylor Swift concert, right? Let's talk about that. Billie Eilish. Billie Eilish says doing 3-hour concerts is literally psychotic. So I guess she's taking a jab there at, guess what? Guess who does 3-hour concerts? Taylor Swift. Which I still maintain some of the songs have to be like pre-recorded. Because even if I'm just sitting here talking for 3 hours, my voice begins to break down. Usually it's around the 2-hour mark. My voice will be just start to get tired. Let alone singing, right? And dancing. Your voice just can't handle that. It'll begin, like, no matter how much you make it strong. That's why a lot of the newer Taylor songs are her just talking. Like the story songs that are on, like the Tortured Poets and Midnights, Evermore, and Folklore, or they're just like almost like beat poetry songs, right? Which is fine. I don't mind that. I like this stuff, obviously. But yeah, doing 3 hours it was excessive. I guess she's got a new album out, right, Billie Eilish? And it's debuted in the second spot behind Taylor's Tortured Poets. Hit Me Hard and Soft. But you know what, Billie? Your vocal performances are also quiet and talking like this, so it doesn't really burn out the voice. So maybe you could do a 3-hour, but I've seen her performances. She jumps around and moves around on the stage a lot. And if you ever want to go down a weird and dark rabbit hole, she seems to be preoccupied with flatulence. So if she farts all the time. She farts on stage. You see her wife like lifting her leg and letting one rip, and like, trust me, it's a weird rabbit hole. I don't know how I got there, but I found it. And she's got she'll like interview her, like interrupt her brother's interviews by just putting her butt in the frame and farting in his face. She's that kind of weird. Oh, whatever. Ay, yeah. Let's move on to some hit or miss. 10-hour class or 10 classic horror movie rules that are still being followed today. I like horror movies, so I thought this would be an interesting look. Let's just see. Some of the horror tropes. Zombies are killed with a headshot. Well, most things are killed with a headshot, unless your name is Jason Voorhees or Mike Myers. Who else got shot in the face and survived? Kingpin. Kingpin from the MCU got shot point blank in the face, and I guess that was just a flesh wound. Yeah. But yeah, for the most part, zombies get killed by a headshot. What's next? The Final Girl. Oh, yeah, there's Melissa Barrera. Jenna Ortega. That's still been pretty much going on. Like, totally killer, immaculate final girls. It's a trope that we like, right? Wolverine gets a headshot and loses his memory, Hourglass says. Okay, yeah, that's right. Jump scares that shock the audience. Well, those will be used in every... Jump scares will always be used. Just the frequent use of them is like when you use it too much, right? That's when you're like these are like brush strokes of like composition of your film, right? So you're going to use a jump scare in a horror movie. Yeah, of course. Why not? That's a classic style, right? It's just if you overuse it, then it's kind of like, yeah. Talk to Me was good. That's on Netflix right now, right? I feel like we should watch that one together. 7. Killers justify their actions based on societal issues. Yeah, they're using the menu here, huh? The murderer, well, was he murderous? Yes, he was. Ray Fiennes. Because he did kill people. And he did blame it on bad people in society bringing things, influential people in society, right? We were just talking about 7. John Doe, very much blamed his actions or justified his actions on societal issues when he was talking about a fat man, right? How can you say that that is okay, kind of thing? That rant. The end of the world is predicted. Knock at the cabin. Well, yeah. Although you don't really get the end of the world scenario in movies like the slasher films, do you? Like Freddy versus Freddy and Jason and stuff like that. But yeah, end of the world stuff is still going on. Knock at the Cabin, I think that's also on Netflix, isn't it? Like I feel like watching a movie this afternoon. I do. I'll see what's on there and I'll see if I can put together some graphics. Children are put in danger to build conflict, number 5. Yeah, that one's a tired one. That one is definitely, if you can definitely easily overuse that one. And now this is the one that turns critics away a lot. Okay, it's about a killer doll, and it's got a child friend. We know that there's going to be at least one scene where the kid is going to be put in peril. Just don't overuse it, right? Megan 2 comes out soon, so look forward to that one. People use wealth to do horrible things. Infinity Pool. Wait a minute. She didn't. Isn't she supposed to be holding a gun there? Did they Photoshop this or something? She's saying, James, come out of the bus. Yeah, James. Yeah. Isn't she holding the gun there? I could have sworn. I gotta look at that. Why did they change that out? Yeah, he is. Hold on. I gotta listen to this. Now that we got it on topic.
Yeah, Jamesy!
Jamesy. God, she's crazy.
Little baby!
Yeah. Um, she did a great job. Like like her laugh is like nails on a blackboard, right? It's just like, eesh. But that's what she wanted. That's what she was shooting towards. Why did they put like a Oscar in there? That's weird. Infinity Pool goes off into some weird places, man. Yeah. The characters split up. Bodies, bodies, bodies. That one I never got around to, I don't think. She sounds like my ex, Hourglass says. Yeah, the characters always split up. That's why that line in not Cabin in the Woods was like, we should split up. Really? Yeah, because that was a tired trope that they always use, right? So yeah, that one's up there because it's just an excuse to get the group separated so that the killer or person can get killed, right? The person on the ground is Lee Pace. Is it? Is that when he died or whatever? Lee Pace is good. Found footage utilizes new technology. Yeah. Missing last year was actually a pretty decent film. It was like nothing groundbreaking or anything, but I thought it was fairly engaging, like her trying to find her dad or whatever. Or her mom, right? Her mom goes missing. That's the way it was. And it had some interesting reveals and twists and turns. It did. Storm Reed, right? She did a good job. Religion is weaponized. Yeah, that'll always happen. Immaculate we had this year. What else? The First Omen, and soon we're gonna have the Exorcism with Russell Crowe again. That one's always gonna hit down because of people's religious beliefs. You're always going to be able to weaponize that in some capacity. I don't find the religious ones all that scary. The Nun 2. I would love to watch The Nun 2 with you guys. Because we did The Nun, right? Oh, that was on Twitch when we did it there. I'd like to watch Nun 2 with you guys. Yeah. For me, it doesn't really, it's not scary because I don't believe in demons or Satan or devils or anything like that. Because I'm a fairly logical man. So it's kind of like, how do I explain this to you? If God is true, then he created everything, including the concept of demons and Lucifer, right? He made it. So there's no way that those powers would have control over you to try to overthrow God because God made it all in the first place. That's the way that I look at it. But I'm not saying that it's not scary. There's some really cool imagery and gross stuff that can be done with it, which Immaculate does, right? with the trying to recreate Jesus from blood samples. Yeah, it was just, yeah, that kind of stuff is real. That's why I found that Immaculate worked better than The First Omen. The First Omen was just kind of more, they took it more on that religious side of things, where Immaculate tried to explain it more on a scientific way of kind of like what should have been the horror of what Jurassic World was trying to do. Like really gross stuff with cloning and stuff like that, right? Yeah. What do you guys think about that list? It's interesting stuff, for sure. Maybe I'll cut that out and put that up in the as a single video today. Hourglass says The Blackening was a parody comedy that challenged the common mistakes in white person's horror movies. The Blackening. I don't think I saw that. Pfeiffer says, I think the devil is just a myth people dreamed up because they needed someone to blame their own failings. Well, Lucifer was a story from the Bible and stuff, right? About the angels and him falling from heaven because he was jealous that God was paying too much attention to humans rather than angels. That angels should inherit. Like I like that. Like there's that mythos there, that kind of stuff. I like that. That's interesting stuff. That's good. That's interesting stories. But that's the way that I look at it. It's a story kind of thing. Next, Jim Parsons breaks silence on appearing in a Big Bang sequel. Big Bang Theory sequel. I don't know if that's going to happen. I know that there's going to be like a spin-off from the Young Sheldon, right? They're going to be like with the brother and sister or something. I never watched Young Sheldon. I was a big Bang Theory fan, even though I thought that the writing was ridiculous. I liked it because of just the audacity of it, the silliness of it. Young Sheldon keeps the characters alive for fans, but there are no concrete plans to go back to the original Sheldon. Young Sheldon, the franchise, will continue with George and Mandy's first wedding. But Jim Parsons said not for the foreseeable future about a sequel. Reincarnation next time. Look, never say never to anything. Life is long, God willing. But I don't think so about coming back for some kind of a sequel. There were other talks about having like a spin-off about, I don't know, either Leonard and Penny. I think people would watch that. They would. But I don't know. Yeah. I just thought that was interesting because I thought I'd pull that off. Next. This is just kind of an interesting little one. House from Home Alone hits the market for $5.25 million. You got some spare change, you can buy that house from Home Alone. So, yeah, people called it out. Like the McAllister family, they were rich. Normal people don't have houses that big, and let alone go on Christmas vacations or whatever for that. Like people have tried to figure out what kind of an income the parents had to afford all of that. It used to be like that though, guys, where two hardworking parents could afford all of that. Not anymore. Now two hardworking parents can maybe afford just a small section of that house. So it's up for market 5.25 million. There are videos up there that do like walkthroughs and stuff that you can see inside of it. So what is this? Eric Van Conovers does like a walkthrough of it. If you want to see what the other rooms look like. Oh, there's a basement. So they redid the basement and everything. Interesting. Yeah. Nearly all the Home Alone's interior shots were a studio model. Yeah, well, that's what you get from like these walkthroughs. Like you saw him go down around a corner and stuff like that. So like the downstairs is not not what they were portraying it. And it's got a big basketball court downstairs. Like they must have dug out a big part of the yard to put that downstairs. That's cool. I'd like that. I wouldn't play basketball, but I'd use it to play like badminton and stuff. I'm not a big basketballer. The kitchen looks pretty much the same. The attic. Do we have an attic? Come on, fast forward. I wish we could fast forward on shorts, but yeah. So you go up and you take a look at the rooms and stuff. Well, those are out there. Just thought it was an interesting look. And finally, Bruce Campbell says that he would love to play a James Bond villain. You know what? He would be a good villain. He's a good actor. A lot of expression in his face. I don't know why he never got picked up for anything else. Like they started to try to move the wheels on him to work in like other big mainstream kind of films. Like, what was that one? The City of Zinj or whatever. Congo, right? He played a small role in that, and that was going to like help jumpstart into the mainstream stuff. But he never really got away from like working with Sam Raimi and Darkman and stuff. Because I think he can do serious stuff. He's a good actor. I'd put him in stuff. So, yeah. Bruce Campbell would love the chance to take on 007 as a James Bond villain. I could see him taking on James Bond. Give him like one of those cigar cutters or something from like Darkman. Like do little winks at other properties that he was in. I'd be up for that. Great lighting in the Home Alone house, yeah. All right, so that's pretty much all I have here on tap. Let's go over to the Twitterverse and round things out. See if anything big dropped. All the latest news. Here we go. Simone Ashley. A Family Affair. Nicole Kidman, Zac Efron, Joey King will drop tomorrow on Netflix, June 26th. I like Joey King. And I like Nicole Kidman. And Zac Efron was really good in The Iron Claw last year. Maybe we'll watch that one together, June 28th. Glenn Powell was in the running for Josh Hartnett's role in Oppenheimer. Really? He's still in touch with Christopher Nolan and hopes to work with him in the future. Well, you may. You may get your chance. Why does he look Bondish there? What's that from? But Josh Hartnett was really good in Oppenheimer. And it's good to see him making a resurgence. Glenn Powell's going to be fine. Josh Hartnett's going to be fine. That's kind of an interesting take. So I'm guessing that that's maybe a little bit of a setting the table, maybe, that whatever Christopher Nolan works on next, it's going to be with Glenn Powell. Barry ended 1 year ago. Happy birthday to Jake Johnson. What is your favorite Carey Mulligan performance? You know what? A lot of people didn't like Wall Street 2, Money Talks. But she had a really good scene in there with Michael Douglas. Yeah. No, but she's so good in and so many other films. It's hard to call right up off the bat. What are some people's suggestions here? Let's take a look. Drive. She didn't really do a whole lot, though, in Drive. She was just there. Promising Young Woman. It's not even close. Bend It Like Beckham. Was she in that? Oh, yeah, she was in Great Gatsby as well. She was good in that, too. Happy birthday to... Oh, was that her birthday? Is that why people are wishing her happy birthday? Far From the Maddening Crowd. All Day, Every Day. That's Schoenstetter or whatever his name is. Schoenfeld? Is that Schufelter? I forget his name. Far from the Maddening Crowd. Yeah, why am I forgetting? Why am I drawing a blank on his name? Now I gotta look him up. Something Schoenfeld, right? Matthias Schoenaerts. Okay, that's what I'm thinking of. Michael Sheen. Did I know this movie? 2015. Yeah, where is Matthias Schoenfeld? I haven't seen him in a whole lot of stuff. He's a good actor. He's somebody that should have broken through. Danish Girl, Red Sparrow, Django TV series. Amsterdam. Oh, yeah, he was in Amsterdam. What else has he got coming up? The Old Guard 2, Ruin, The Way of Wind. This Django series, why does that sound familiar? Why? It feels like I was just looking at this. Django. Oh, Noomi Rapace's in that. Cool. Might have to check this one out. Where is this playing? It's a series, huh? Drama Western. Is it a series? Yeah. 2022, 10 episodes. Huh. Anyway. Interesting little rabbit hole there. I love Carey Mulligan Doctor Who episode Blink, Pfeiffer says. Okay. Cool. Cruella came out 3 years ago. The original 4 Hunger Games are leaving Netflix this week. Are they? Pedro Pascal. Who delivered your favorite performance of the year so far? That's an interesting question. Interesting performance from some people are saying Ryan Gosling in The Fall Guy. Anya Taylor-Joy is Furiosa. They were good, but not the best. Austin Butler as Fade Rotha is definitely creepy. Chris Hemsworth as Dementis is probably one of my favorites. He'd be up there. But then I got to go back to the smaller films like Love Lies Bleeding is pretty good. Melissa Barrera in Abigail is also really good. The small girl in Abigail is really good. Sydney Sweeney in Immaculate, or some people are saying. Rebecca Ferguson from Dune. A lot of Dune here. Glenn Powell. Yeah, so somebody did say Abigail right there. Good. So somebody said Josh O'Connor from Challengers. I can't really agree with that one. Kristen Dunst in Civil War. She was good. Nell Tiger Free from The First Omen. Godzilla. Yeah. Yeah, Chris Hemsworth is up there for me. But so's Katie O'Brien from Love Lies Bleeding. Kirsten Stewart from Love Lies Bleeding is up there. Bridget Lundy Payne from I Saw the TV Glow. Those performances are weird, though, because they're deadpanned. They're just looking at the TV. Oh, don't you see the ice cream man? It's mesmerizing. Like, is that really good performance? I would say that Justice Smith did a better job in I Saw the TV Glow. Bridget Lundy Payne has a good monologue in there. But yeah, when you say, okay, compare that to what Timothée Chalamet was doing in Dune Part 2, no. Or even what, yeah, like look at this. Let's pull up this. Can I make this bigger, James? No, I can't. Austin Butler as Fade. Like he's not even saying anything here. He's just looking. And just by his look, from looking at you, you see menace in him, right? Who else? Well, a lot of Dune in here. Some people are trying to cheat and put in performances that haven't come out yet. Like Kevin Durant from Planet of the Apes. Yeah, he did a good job. Proximus Caesar. Interesting choice. All right. Is that it for today? Is that all we got? Best performance is Jia Ling in YOLO. She acted and wrote and directed the movie, and she lost 150 pounds to make that movie. Really? Let's see if I can pull that up. An argument with her younger sister Li Ying moves out on her own. She meets a boxing trainer and starts boxing. Cool. Is that how she loses weight? Hey, that's what you find an exercise you like doing and then you get into it and do it. Who cares if it's dragon boating or whatever? Dragon boating seems to be a thing here in Ontario for some reason. And if you like it, just keep on doing it. Yeah, and then work on your diet. Look at what kind of fuels you're putting in to make your body go and grow and become big. Whatever. I'll keep my eye open for that. Knives Out 3 begins shooting next month. Kaylee Spaney and Daniel Craig set to star. Yeah, that brings us around full circle. Why did I see that Ciara Bao was... Anyway, that's all I've got for today, guys. Yeah, not a whole lot in the news cycle today. I am working tomorrow, so I will be busy for the most part. There's something called Wolves with Brad Pitt and George Clooney that just debuted. Let's take a look at this. Because these two guys are friends in real life, right? What a teaser, huh? So they're trying to cash in that, hey, don't you know these two guys? Trailer online tomorrow. Okay, so it's a teaser for their teaser tomorrow. Yeah, that wasn't very effective. It is what it is. Yep, that's all we got. Okay, guys, thank you very much for joining me today. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. I'll see you next time. I'm going to try to think up some shorts. I want to do a worst casting episode, so I'll be doing that. Oh, Dev Patel and Bill Skarsgård. Oh yeah, Bill Skarsgård was really good in Boy Kills World, and Dev Patel was also really good Ardglass for Monkey Man, right? Actually, there was a couple good performances in Monkey Man. Good call. Yeah, I'll have to think about that one. All right, let me know what you think. Maybe I'll do a short about that. Let me know in the comments below, and we will talk about it. See you next time on Thursday, guys. Thursday, we'll be back. Enjoy the rest of your day.